1947, on a remote island in the Pacific, deep in the jungle, Japanese forces have found what they're looking for, an ancient ruins from a former kingdom, long since forgotten by the world. But the prying eyes of U.S. intelligence services are always 2 steps ahead, with U.S. jump troops including Fireflies and Jackals descending on the ruins in an attempt to seize the valuable riches, who will find themselves victorious and claim the riches of this former empire. In this week's battle report of Konflikt 47. Hey, how's it going? Mike from Mike Rolls Dice here, and welcome back for another battle report of Konflikt 47. Me and my buddy Rev here are going to be playing a game of point defense. Real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to our YouTube members here and everyone who watches the videos. Thank you so much. The support means a lot, and I couldn't do it without you. If you're new here, be sure to check out all the different K-47 content we have here on the channel. So now with that out of the way, let's get into the army list, starting off with my U.S. forces. So starting off, we have exactly 1,500 points here of my U.S. forces, and leading the cause is Slammer Samuels. He's 158 points. He has 3 guts, he has 1 point of luck, and 1 point of rift mastery, and he's going to be trying to get his boys into those jungle ruins. Then we have a Firefly platoon commander here, and he just gets the 3 pointed guts, as the non-US hero platoon commanders do. And then we have 2 units of Fireflies. These are 6-man Firefly squads, all equipped with their Tesla Thompsons, and 1 man is equipped with a flamethrower, as well as a assistant to the flamethrower.
Alright, men. You ready to give him hell? Hoorah!
Then we have 2 units of Paragons. These are 3-man Paragon squads. There's 1 with a single heavy Tesla rifle, and they're all equipped with close combat blades. Then we have a sniper team, as well as a bazooka team, to round off the infantry. Last but not least, we have some armored vehicles, starting off with the Kodiak Medium Walker. And this is damage value 9. It has 2 autocannons, 1 on each arm, and it has 2 HMGs on each arm, for a total of 24 HMG shots. Then we have 2 of the Jackals, the smaller jump walkers, and these are damage value 8. On the right arm they have an MMG, and both of them are upgraded with a left arm flamethrower. And they have the jump capability, which means they will be allowed to be off the board, just like the Fireflies, and drop in behind enemy lines to flamethrower some troops. So now with the US forces out of the way, let's go over Rev's Japanese list. Rev brought his Japanese army, which is looking amazing as always. And with the addition of some new units today, his list comes in just around 1,500 points as well. Now starting off, we have a platoon commander. There are 2 platoon commanders here, both are regular. One is equipped with a Yorai Kumi anti-tank launcher and a point of guts, and the other one is equipped with a combat blade and a point of luck. Then we have the Ken Tenpai inspirational officer back there to make sure that none of his troops fail their green tests and get a morale bonus.
Oedo! No retreat!
Speaking of green infantry, there are 3 squads of green, inexperienced Japanese troops here, and they are equipped with rifles.
For the Empire! Ah!
I believe they've taken their bamboo sticks, hollowed them out, put some rods in there, and they're going to be shooting some random rifle caliber, whatever they can find off the battlefield, I believe. And Rev's going to be using these more than likely to screen out and try and stop the US assault. Next up, we have a sniper team, upgraded with the Shiburu rifle as well. Then we have a veteran infantry squad that are all equipped with Shiburu rifles. Next we have a ghost squad, a 6-man ghost squad, and they are all equipped with Shiburu rifles as well, and they have their teleport ability, essentially, after shooting, to where they can teleport across the board. And then there are two 6-man squads of the battle frame infantry, and these are all equipped with Shiboro rifles as well. In the back there are 7 assault frame infantry troops, and they have SMGs as well as combat blades.
Show the enemy no mercy. Today they shall know what it's like to fight a real warrior.
Then we have the new Type 7 Sasori Light Walker on the table here. It has 4 legs, 2 arms in the front, as well as a light Shiboro cannon and 2 forward-facing hull-mounted MMGs, as well as damage value 8. And that's Rev's list, again coming in just around 1,500 points. For the board today, we are using a jungle terrain setup. Now, we're essentially just considering all units to have soft cover at all times. So the trees aren't necessarily line of sight blocking, just the ruins and the rocks are line of sight blocking, but we're trying to simulate some jungle fighting, if you will. That being said, there's no dense terrain other than the ruins, so the units are able to move freely, but it's more so to simulate all the jungle foliage getting in the mix. Now, speaking of which, the mission today is point defense, and the Japanese forces have 3 objectives that they need to control, trying to stop the US forces from seizing them. Those 3 objectives are the ruins on the left side of the board here that you can see, the hidden temple with some sort of stairwell that appears to lead down to an ancient civilization's cache of riches and valuable resources is the main objective, as well as the 2 larger ruins that are closer towards the center of the board. That being said, there are 6 and potentially 7 turns for the Japanese to hold the objectives. So the US forces are going to try and have to seize control of these objectives. If they can control 2 of them, they can win the game. I believe if they control 1, it's a draw or a tie. That being said, Rev is going to deploy the forces that he's not keeping in reserve. Whatever units are deployed count as being hidden until an enemy unit comes within a certain distance or until they take a particular action. So you can see here, Rev has all of his troops. He has his platoon commander in the ruins, his veteran infantry closer towards the farther ruins. He has his 3 green infantry squads kind of spread out as a way to kind of screen and stop the US troops from moving forward on the board. We have a couple battle frame infantry squads that are on the board, and they're going to be taking cover behind the larger ruins here. By using these green inexperienced troops, he's kind of using them as like a buffer zone to slow down the US onslaught. Take your positions. And inside the ruins here, he has a sniper team as well as his inspirational officer. And that placement of the inspirational officer is important because he's dead center in all those inexperienced troops. With that being said, though, the US forces actually get a free preparatory bombardment. It goes off on a 2. We just decided that it was going to go off for fun, so that's going to be going off here. But real quick, we're taking a look at what's in reserve for the Japanese forces. The Japanese platoon commander with the combat blade, the assault frame infantry squad, the Sasori Walker, and the Ghost Frame Infantry Squad are going to be off the board and in reserves, and all of the units outflanking as well, part of the Japanese special rule. Now for the US forces, what's going to be starting on the board, we have Slammer Samuels, we have the sniper team, the bazooka team, the 2 Paragon squads, and the Kodiak medium walker. The Fireflies, the Firefly platoon commander, and the Jackals will be jumping in at a later turn.
Ready, men? Time to give them hell.
Preparatory bombardment going off, and pins being applied to the units that got hit by the artillery or airstrikes. And unfortunately for the Japanese, the Ken Tenpai inspirational officer was killed in the strike. That was really the one unit that Rev cared about not dying in the airstrike, so that was hilarious and great for me.
Prepare yourselves. The Americans are coming.
That being said, we have the start of turn 1 here, and Rev going on ambush with the 2 green squads in the front there, ready for the American attack.
No matter what, hold your ground, men.
With that being said, the US sniper team is moving onto the board, and they're going to be taking aim, shooting the rifle at the opposing Japanese sniper team in the ruins. But unfortunately missing. So now a Paragon squad is running onto the board and running right behind some cover, some of the only cover on the board, that one rock there, and waiting to move further up the board in a future turn. And Rev pulling dice out of the bag, mostly going on ambush with his units, getting ready for any American units that can get within range of his Shibiru rifles. And another Paragon squad moves onto the board here. Again, this is some of the only cover here, so the Paragons, and as well as then Slammer Samuels moving onto the board. I imagine they're doing a little strategic planning behind this rock as they figure out how to assault the Japanese lines. Alright, from here we're going to need to push forward. We don't have any room for mistakes here, men. Rev managing to rally with his platoon commander, as well as the veteran infantry in the rear there. And again, he's just pretty much going on ambush with whatever he can, particularly with the mission rule, considering that most of his units are hidden, he benefits from a cover save. So it's best to just sit on ambush and wait. Now the Kodiak medium walker on the US side moves onto the board. It's moving its 12 full inches from the deployment. And it's going to take aim with its autocannons at the snipers in the ruins and its HMGs at the green squad right in front of it.
Target acquired.
Manages actually to take out the spotter with the autocannons. And after firing 12 shots for each arm, so 24 HMG shots in total, and only managing to take out a couple of the Japanese inexperienced troops, with Rev passing his green test after losing the first models out of the squad. So the American bazooka team runs on the board because they only have 24-inch range. They need to get some movement, so they're just going to run on, potentially getting a shot next turn. And with that, that is the end of turn one. Whenever you do the deployment style where you pull your dice out of the bag and deploy, it helps not only speed up the game, but it also keeps things dynamic. So you could see kind of a slow start here with the way we have everything set up, but both of us have quite a lot of units off the board, so we're waiting for the chance to kind of deep strike behind enemy lines, if you will. Starting off with the start of turn 2 here, and the US forces are up first, pulling a dice out of the bag, and they're going to be firing their bazookas at the assault frame infantry. Steady now. I'm trying to get a shot, but those bozos are in the way. But unfortunately miss. Next up, the Kodiak medium walker is up, and it advances forwards ever closer towards the ruins here, and it's going to be firing at the troops in front of it. But being on ambush with the inexperienced troops, Rev attempts to charge the walker. But because they're equipped with bamboo spears and not the tank hunter ability, they flee after failing their order test, or their morale check. Run away!
They're running away. Take this.
After turning tail and running away, the Kodiak walker now with its HMGs guns down the inexperienced troops, managing to take out a majority of the squad, thus causing them to fail their morale check, fleeing off the board. And after firing its HMGs, it takes its autocannons and lines them up at the sniper in the ruins, and manages to take out the lone sniper after losing the spotter last turn. Now with the Japanese sniper cleared out of the way, the American sniper team can take aim. They're going to be shooting at the NCO of the Japanese inexperienced troops right in front of them. Getting a +1 to hit and wound, they manage to take them out, which will give them an additional -1 to their morale check. but they do pass their green test. So now the Sasori Japanese Walker is moving on to the board with its outflanking, and it's actually managing to get a perfect side shot and getting within 6 inches for the additional bonus. It's going to be firing its Shiburu cannon at the Grizzly Walker in front of it, and its MMGs at the Paragons.
Sasori Walker here. Ready to engage.
Now, getting 2 successful hits means that he'll get an additional hit after activating his Rift Dice. And with the point-blank Shiburu cannon shot, managing to take out the Kodiak Walker point-blank with a full damage roll, and applying a pin to the Paragons. After seeing his valued Grizzly Walker go down, Slammer Samuels orders the Paragons to go and assault the Sasori Walker. "Move it, damn it! Somebody take out that Japanese Walker!" But the way walkers work, when you assault them, they get to attack first, and due to the legs and the claws, they actually manage to take out one of the Paragons, reducing their incoming attacks. Equipped with close combat blades and tough fighters, and assault here. They're going to attack, but unfortunately don't manage any successful damage rolls. Using a point of guts and attempting to roll some dice to save the Paragons, they unfortunately get taken out by the Walker.
Fine. As usual. I guess I'll have to get my hands dirty this time.
Slammer Samuels, enraged, charges his Tesla Gauntlet, which he's used in the past to take down walkers and tanks. Charges right towards the Sasori Walker, unfortunately being out of range, but using his point of guts to put his dice back in the bag to charge it later on this turn. The Japanese platoon commander leaves the ruins, moving closer towards his men to give a friendly morale bonus. So the US forces pull their dice, and now Slammer Samuels can activate, using his Rift Dice ability, activating his Tesla Gauntlet, unfortunately only getting +2 pen, so using a point of guts to change that to +3. Again, charging a walker though, so the walker gets to attack first, manages to take out Slammer Samuels, so he has to use a point of luck to stay alive. And then he does manage to get a damage roll. But unfortunately, it just leads to the result of immobilized. So not only does the Sasori Walker manage the Paragons, but takes out Slammer Samuels twice with its arms and legs. Now, desperate to take this Walker out of the game, a squad of Fireflies lands within point-blank range on its side profile, and is shooting with its E-slugs. Managing an additional damage roll here, but only getting a result of a stunned, just leading to pins being applied to the Sasori Walker and going down. Now the other unit of Paragons, seeing the left side of the board not going too well, they're going to try and focus on the right side, and they are just running forward towards the ruins, with the inexperienced green squad in front of them on ambush. They are going to attempt to fire their rifles as the Paragons run by.
There they are! Get ready! Fire!
Hitting on 4 but needing 6s to wound, they just manage a pin. So the Firefly platoon commander on the American side drops down in point blank range right next to his fellow Fireflies. He's going to be taking aim with his ATRD at the Sasori Walker. Managing a hit, but just a pin, and then using his guts to put the Firefly dice in the bag so they can go again, which I immediately activate them again after pulling their dice and shooting within point blank range with their E-slug profiles. After managing 2 full damage rolls with the result of a 5, the Sasori Walker's taken out finally. Now Rev continuing to go on ambush with most of his troops. He's got a nice thing going on here. If he can just hold his ground whenever I move towards him, he can attack or charge. The veteran troops are moving closer towards the ruins on the right side and backing them up, coming in, outflanking off the board. The Ghost Squad move up right behind the Paragons within point-blank range and are firing with their Shiburu rifles. But thanks to a point of guts, I can actually change one of the results of the damage roll, leading to none of the Paragons getting taken out. And after landing point-blank range and shooting the Paragons and not taking any out, the Ghost Squad uses its Rift ability and teleports back behind Japanese lines successfully.
Fall back, men! Retreat to enemy lines!
And with that, that is the end of turn 2. And moving on to start of turn 3. Start of turn 3 here, and you can see we've rolled our Rift dice. Now Rev is choosing to keep both of the battle frame infantry squads on ambush, retaining their ambush dice. Proving to be quite the pain in my side, as I can't really move my troops without them getting blasted by Shiburu rifles.
Patience. Give them time.
And staying on ambush with the green squad as well. Sir, what the hell's going on over there?
Listen, damn it, we ain't got time to sit around. Keep moving.
Paragons are moving forward towards the ruins and trying to keep some distance away, but they're in a tricky spot because the veterans can move into the terrain and shoot them later on. Now the sniper team on the US side is activating, and they're going to be firing at the battle frame infantry, trying to target the leader in the squad. Getting a successful hit and a successful damage roll, managing to take out the leader of the squad. Bazooka team attempting to fire at the battle frame infantry, but being out of range. After choosing to shoot at the green squad, they unfortunately miss. The Fireflies, having no choice, attempt to advance forward up the board here and get closer to the ruins, activating the ambush from the battle frame infantry and their Shiburu rifles. And after only managing to save 2 of the troops, they do manage to pass the morale test, but I was worried about those battle frame infantry being on ambush. And what I worried about most definitely happened. So now the green infantry squad here attempting to charge the Fireflies, but being just out of range. And in Konflikt, you do have to move if you attempt to charge. So ending up right in front of the Fireflies. Banzai! An assault frame infantry squad moving onto the board now and getting right behind the American sniper team. And after firing all of their SMGs at point blank range, they easily take out the sniper team.
You fools.
In response, the US forces are jumping in the Jackal Walker here within point blank range right behind the assault frame infantry. It's going to be shooting its MMGs and its flamethrower at them. Starting off with the MMG. I'm rolling for the flamethrower to see if it actually goes off. Unfortunately, it doesn't, but luckily it doesn't run out of flamethrower ammunition as well.
Go, go, go! Now's our chance, men!
The new Firefly squad jumping in right in front of the battle frame infantry that already triggered their ambush. Shooting with the Tesla Thompsons in point blank range, as well as then activating with a flamethrower and getting 6 shots with it. between the Tesla Thompsons and the flamethrower, managing to wipe the entire squad out. Now reinforcing the other walker, another Jackal drops in within point-blank range.
Jackal inbound.
And they're going to be shooting their MMG and flamethrower as well at the assault frame infantry right in front of them.
For Super FDR! Ah!
Something to note, whenever you jump in with a unit, you are always -1 to hit. So it's something to think about, so hitting on 3s. And rolling for its flamethrower, unfortunately only managing some pins. Now, Japanese platoon commander moving on to the board now, shooting its anti-tank launcher at one of the Jackals. Bring it down! But just applying a pin. That does allow them to put the dice back in the bag, so now the assault frame infantry can go, and they're going to charge the Paragons near the ruins, taking out one of the last infantry squads on this side of the board. That could score some points later on.
Bring down the enemy! Shine!
Both units fighting at the same time, but the assault frame infantry have quite a lot of attacks coming in. The Paragons do have guts. We've been generating guts the whole time, saving one of the Paragons with the guts, and taking out 2 of the Japanese with them in the first round of combat. Second round of combat, not taking out any of the Japanese, but managing to keep the Paragon alive with his last point of guts. And the Firefly platoon commander now is activating and moving up and shooting at the inexperienced squad, and managing to take some of them out with his Tesla Thompson. Ongoing combat between the Paragons and the assault frame, and the Paragon actually managing to take 2 more of the assault frame out as he's taken out for his valiant last stand. Rev moving with his Japanese platoon commander here to apply a morale bonus there in the center. The Japanese veteran troops on the side with their Shiburu rifles move into the other objective inside the ruins, now having line of sight on the American bazooka team.
Enemy bazooka team spotted. Open fire!
Activating the rift dice for their Shiburu rifles. With a lucky soft cover save, only managing to take out the loader for the bazooka team. So now the Ghost Squad is activating, and they are just running, getting their positioning towards the other objective to help reinforce the battle squad on that side of the board. And with that, that is the end of turn 3. Quite a lot of units have been taken off on both sides of the boards, but with the Japanese essentially not having to move and being able to stay on ambush, it's going to be tough for me to try and take out some of the remaining units and control the objectives. And with the end of turn 3, moving on to the start of turn 4. Start of turn 4 here, you can see the carnage and destruction across the board. And the Japanese are up first, and Rev choosing to charge this inexperienced rifleman squad here into the 2 Fireflies in the center. Now, because there's a flamethrower and a loader left, I'm rolling their attacks separately. They do manage to take out some of the Japanese infantry, but the 2 Fireflies are taken out.
You'll never take us alive, damn it! Ah!
Getting a 3-inch consolidation move after. So now Rev activating with the veteran infantry troop in the ruins here, and using his rift dice, he's going to be firing at the lone bazooka team member left, who could potentially score that objective later on. Needing 5s for the soft cover save, managing to get 3 6s, but unfortunately, the lone bazooka team member is taken out. So now the Jackal Walkers are activating. Unfortunately, the one on the right failed its order test and went down. But the one on the left here is going to run through, assaulting the Japanese platoon commander as he moves forward to then take shots at the veterans inside the ruins. Smashing through the platoon commander with his foot or leg as he runs by, he easily takes him out, and then fires his MMG and flamethrowers inside the ruins. Getting 4 successful hits here, and with a failed cover save, managing to take out one of the Japanese troops. And then also rolling for the flamethrower ammunition, and it rolls a 1, so it runs out of ammo. So now the Ghost Squad are moving forward here, just advancing, and they're going to be firing at the Firefly Squad.
Enemy located. Gun them down!
But with all those shots, only managing to apply a pin. Firefly platoon commander getting inside the ruins here, attempting to try and take control of the objective, shooting his ATRD. And unfortunately misses. And then the Firefly squad is moving forward. Unfortunately, the battle frame infantry are still on ambush, so they are going to get to fire, but they have to move here at some point. They have to do something to try and take control, because that battle frame infantry squad, being within 3 inches, is contesting the objective. Battle frame infantry squad are going to be sprinting their ambush and firing their Shiburu rifles. And after losing 4 out of the 6, they do pass the morale test and are able to fire their flamethrower, but unfortunately they miss. Didn't seem really like it was worth it. So now the Japanese platoon commander is activating here. He's going to be taking his pistol and firing at the Firefly platoon commander right in front of him in the ruins. Now the 2 remaining assault frame infantry squad members leap out of the ruins yelling Banzai, and they run right into the Jackal here.
Banzai!
But as we know, assaulting walkers is quite dangerous in this game, and using his fists and his legs, he manages to fight off the 2 assault frame infantry, taking them out of action. With that, that is the end of turn 4, and we're moving on to the start of turn 5. Fortunately for the US, there are only 2 infantry units remaining on the board that could potentially score or control objectives. The end of turn 4, going on to start of turn 5. Start of turn 5 here, and the Japanese are up first. The Ghost Squad are activating, and they are actually going to charge the 2 remaining Fireflies here as a show of dominance, not even firing the rifles.
Charge! Shine!
And with the Fireflies putting up a valiant attempt, taking out one of the Ghost Frame infantry, unfortunately, they're taken out of action. The Jackal Walker, after taking out the Assault Frame infantry last turn, turns his focus on the veterans in front of him. But only managing some pins. And the inexperienced veteran troop are assaulting, charging the Firefly platoon commander in the ruins. He does have a defended position, so he will fight first. Only managing to take out one of the inexperienced troops. they managed to take their bamboo rifle spears and finally take out the Firefly platoon commander. And with that, High Command over the radio calls in for a retreat. The 2 remaining jackals jump out of there, and the Japanese have held on to their ground, stopped the U.S. assault, and have managed to secure their jungle ruins and the potential vast riches and resources deep inside that underground mysterious cavern that appears to be glowing.
We have shown the Americans what we are truly capable of. Today you have proven yourselves as heroes of Japan! Yeah!
Well, we had a blast with this game. I think we ended up heavily favoring the Japanese with this scenario and the way we set up the board for fun. And Rev having all of his stuff in ambush really turned out to be the key here, setting up that buffer zone of the inexperienced troops with the bamboo spears, which fit the narrative perfectly, by the way, and having the valuable assets off the board to come in behind my line, wreak havoc, really did a number on me. So that being said, I do love the jackals. They're awesome. First time using them. The Kodiak was fantastic as well with the autocannons and HMG, so I really like that unit. And the Fireflies worked well. I think I should have focused most of my forces on that left side of the board where all the battle frame infantry were, soaked up some ambushes, and then just jumped down with everything. Either way, we always have fun here on the channel, and shout out to the Japanese for winning another game on the channel. There have been a couple little rumors as well that the Japanese may be receiving a buff potentially here in the near future, so I'm very excited to see what the future of Konflikt holds in store for us. Well, thank you again. My name is Mike from Mike Rolls Dice, and shout out to our new YouTube members and everyone that's been watching the channel. We have a lot of new subscribers as well, so shout out to everyone that's new here and all the folks that have been supporting us from early on. If you're new here, we have a ton of different Konflikt 47 battle reports here on the channel, as well as some other games. And we've been streaming recently over the weekends, so come check out some of our hobby streams over the weekend where we're painting up some miniatures. Thanks again to everybody for watching. And till next time, keep rolling high on those dice.